This country, this nation, the United States of America, almost 250 years old, is on the path to becoming the new Babylon. And the state of Colorado is trying its best to lead the way down that path. Oh, y'all, we gonna get shady here in a minute. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am Shady. You are in the zone, and once again, we are live on a Thursday morning from the Colorado Rocky Mountains. Now, a lot of y'all know I do a lot of videos on the state of Colorado, and I've got two reasons why I do that. First of all, excuse me. First of all, I live here. I wake up every day and go about my day in this almost dystopian state. Second of all, Colorado, y'all, Colorado is a test tube. Colorado is a social experiment. And we, the people that live here, we're all guinea pigs in that experiment. You don't hear a lot about Colorado on the mainstream media. I mean, you'll hear about Chicago, you'll hear about Minneapolis and St. Paul, you'll hear about Seattle, you'll hear about all these places. But unless there's Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment complexes, or I don't know, mass shootings at a school or a gay bar, or a Secretary of State imprisoning a whistleblower for threatening to expose her, or shaking her little fist at the Department of Justice and saying that she's not going to give up files that they're demanding. Besides things like that, you don't hear a lot on the mainstream about the state of Colorado. And in the meantime, the socialists, yeah, I said it, the socialists that are running this state rape the Second Amendment. They deny their citizens their civil rights. They ignore thousands of people when they speak up and oppose some of the craziness that these people try to pass into law. They have given the state, or they have given themselves, the authority that if your son comes home from school one day and he looks at you and says, "Dad, I think I'm a little girl. You will from now on call me Sally." And you take your son and you sit your son down and you say, "No, I'm not going to call you Sally," and you try to talk some sense into your son. Your son goes back to school the next day and tells his teacher, who probably influenced him to get into this craziness in the first place, he goes and tells his teacher or his counselor. They make a phone call to the state, and the state can come to your house and physically remove your child, forcibly if necessary. Remove your child, take your child away from you into the custody of the state. These people tax us into poverty to pay for all their little pet projects. I mean, they import this breed of wolves that until now have never lived in this state, never been native to Colorado. The cost was supposed to be around $800,000, if I remember correctly. It ended up, by the time the federal government told them, "You got to stop. This is illegal. You can't do that. That species does not belong in your state." By the time it was all said and done, I think it was upwards to $3 million that they'd spent on this. They build overpasses over the interstate for animal crossings. They tax you and they tax you. They waste all the money on this crap. And then they figure out that they're under budget. They can't make their budget. So they call a special session of the legislature to come up with the new and inventive ways to tax you some more, to steal your Tabor money. And one of the most blatant things that happened here lately was the whole free school meals that they just passed another bill on. They had passed a bill some time ago that had ensured that your kids, when they go to school, will get a free meal. Excuse me. Then they find out that they've overspent and they got to have more money. So they come up with these other two bills in this special session, and they appeal to the emotions of all these blue-haired cat ladies that live in this state and support them. And they double tap on you for this tax. And we just watch it happen. But you know the thing about it is, and it's just like in every other blue state, in every other blue city in this country, there are good people that live in the state of Colorado. There are people that they get up, they go to work every day, they try to make a living, they try to raise their kids the best that they can. They have roots in this state. They have family in this state. Some of these people have lived in Colorado for generations. Some of them, like me, have lived here for a long time, and I have future generations that are growing up in this state. I pray for my daughters and my grandchildren, my granddaughters, every single day. But these good people that live here, such as myself, most of the time we feel like our voices don't matter. When we try to let our voices be heard, these people ignore us. They demean us. They make fun of us. They joke about us. And I'm not talking about just the mouth breathers out there that follow along. I'm talking about the legislators themselves. I saw this during all the testimony of SB 25-003. I witnessed this myself. I witnessed one of these people sit there on television, on film, and joke about somebody that had just made a testimony. Now, yet we stay and we choose to fight. We choose to stay here. We choose to stand up for the Constitution. We choose to stand up. We choose. It sounded like I sneezed. We choose to stand up for our civil rights. And y'all remember, I just got done doing a video just a few days ago where I exposed 4 of these politicians here in Colorado that were taking donations from somebody that had been documented thousands of times in the Epstein files. And I said that if I uncovered any more, that I would let y'all know. Well, folks, I actually posted this on the community section of the channel not too long after I published the video, because this guy right here, Mr. Mike Johnson, the mayor of Denver, Colorado, Mr. Sanctuary City Champion, Mr. Undocumented Immigrant Champion, the guy who went to D.C. on the taxpayer's dime and made a complete idiot out of himself in front of Congress. The guy who stood on the 16th Street Mall in Denver and talked about how safe it was there only a couple of days after I think 6 people had gotten stabbed on the 16th Street Mall. I believe one of them was fatally stabbed. Yeah, this guy. This guy. Not only did Johnston accept donations from Hoffman, the guy in the original video, not only did he accept donations from Reid Hoffman, he also accepted donations from a lady named, what was her name? Hold on one second. Michelle Yee with a Y. She was also named in the Epstein files. And ironically, I don't know if it's ironic or if it's just plain sick, but ironically, Yee donated to Johnson under the guise of some kind of educational program for kids. Ain't that something else? A pedophile donates to a mayor under the guise of helping children. And just so y'all know, all my receipts for this, every single one of them, are posted in the community section right here on the channel. You can go look at them. You can go to the Tracer app, which will tell you who donated what and who they donated it to. It takes a little bit of time to kind of get used to the app and how it works, but you can go there and you can look up anybody. I encourage you, when you get done watching this video, if you've got somebody in your state legislature, somebody in some position of power in your state, and you want to check on them, you can go there, and after fiddling around for a little bit, you can find out who's donated to them, how much they've donated to them, how they said they were donating to it. Say if they're funneling it through some kind of NGO or something, it will show you. And you know, the thing about it is after I did that last video, I was putting it out. I was putting it out on social media about the 4, and I had people say, well, these people just accepted the donations. They really don't know who donated to them or anything about their donors. And I look at these people and I say, are you seriously that flippin' stupid? Or are you that brainwashed? Or are you just both? And here's another, just another little tidbit, just a little morsel, just something for you guys to mentally snack on for the next few days, hours, whatever. Just something for you to keep in mind. Our toad-faced gremlin, Secretary of State Jenna Griswold, who I reported on in that last video as accepting money from Reid Hoffman. Anybody care to guess what her net worth was back in 2020 before she actually got involved in politics? Anybody care to guess? According to what I found out, Ms. Griswold's net worth was somewhere around $500,000 back in 2020. This was mostly because of her law firm and all of her legal business that she did. Anybody want to care to guess what her net worth is right now? I'll give you a second. Type it in the chat. Type it in the comments below. Her net worth as of today is somewhere between $3 million and $5 million. That is not bad money for a state official. Just imagine what kind of money she'd be making if she was in D.C. and she was hanging out with the big boy pedophile donors. Imagine that. Moving on. Y'all remember I talked about people, teachers, parents, letting their kids go to ICE protests, letting them get out of school, be dismissed from class, and go to ICE protest. Y'all remember that? And remember I said that these teachers, that these school administrators were putting your kids in danger, their health, their safety, their well-being. They were putting your kids in danger. Well, let me scroll down to this. There it is right there. I got this off another channel. I'm going to play a little bit of it. I'm not going to play the whole thing because she actually interviews the chief of police. And this is in Washington State. I don't quite remember where, but this is in Washington State. And this happened just the other day, and I'm going to let her talk for a minute. Y'all watch the film clips. This is what is important about this.
So Enumclaw, Washington is not the place where I would expect this to happen. Here's some video from the student walkout there.
Are you threatening me? Why should I be scared if my family's gonna die? What'd you say?
I said what I said. You fucking deaf. You might want to rehear the video. Learn how to use your ears. You look deaf.
I just wanted to confirm it, so I made sure I heard what I was saying.
Guys, we would have shot you.
Thank you.
So death threats from a teenage girl to a male there, an independent journalist. If we had guns, we would have shot you. And first of all, not to make light of this, but does she not remind you of the Cash Me Outside girl? Catch Me Outside, how about that on the Dr. Phil show? Look it up if you're not familiar. Absolutely insane. And then that was a threat of violence, but things actually turned violent when that same man was punched on camera by a teenage girl. Police, to their credit, in Enumclaw, Washington, you know, the male streamer who was there, he reported his assault on camera, big goose egg, to the police, and the police went in there to make arrests. So they're taking out the girl who punched the guy on camera, and you can see some of the other kids. Look at that. Assault a cop, impede arrest, and when she starts crying and she was walking away, I want my mommy. Okay, well, don't impede law enforcement. This whole video is crazy. Look at her stomp her feet, throw a temper tantrum. This is called consequences. So Chief Tim Floyd, he's the...
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there because, like I said, she goes into this interview with the chief of police. I will say a couple of things about things that came out of that interview. One thing is these children weren't unsupervised. There were actually adults. It doesn't say if they were teachers or staff or chaperones. I believe they were chaperones, but it doesn't say exactly who they were. But they were adults there, standing across the street, not doing anything, not saying anything, not telling them, you know, you need to calm down, just cool your jets a little bit. No. They were standing across the street just watching. Another thing that came out in the interview with the chief of police is this little girl that punched the journalist. When the police moved in to try to take her into custody, she ran. They had to chase her down. Then they come back and they're surrounded by these children, y'all. Children. They are surrounded by these children. One of them assaulted one of the police officers. These are not ICE agents. All right? These are normal street cops. Do you see where this is going? Can you just kind of connect the dots and figure out where this is going? How long is it going to be before one of these kids who fantasizes about being a gangbanger, or maybe really is a gangbanger, pulls a weapon? How long is it going to be until some kind of foobar happens and one of these kids gets hurt, gets shot? And yet here we are, allowing our children to go out and get caught up in this. And you know what? I'm not one of those people who hate to say, I told you so. If I tell you so, I will tell you so. And I will admit that I told you so. Now, while we're on the subject of children, another thing that Colorado just came up with, a whole new chapter of evil in this state, a whole new thing. They are trying to pass a bill right now as we speak. Senate Bill 26-097. This bill will legalize prostitution in the state of Colorado. These people, this was sponsored by, let me see here, I think that's Nick Hendricks. I'm not sure how to say the last name, and my writing is not that good. Nick Hendricks, Lisa Cutter, Rebecca Stewart, and hey, Lorena Garcia. Some of you may recognize that name. Lorena Garcia is the state legislator here in Colorado that on her official state website plastered her picture, smiling with the caption up under it, I am Antifa. So these people who are supposed to be all about children, protecting children, you know, the people who say that it's fine for you to murder an unborn child still in the womb. The same people who say that it's fine to let your kids get out of school and put themselves in danger in the middle of a riot. These people are now trying to legalize prostitution in the state of Colorado. And y'all listen, I had a friend of mine a few years ago. Her daughter ran away from home. And she had so much trouble trying to find her daughter, trying to get her daughter home. Law enforcement's hands were basically tied because of stupid rules and laws and regulations that they have to go by. She got her back. But I did a video on it. And in that video, this is you're gonna like this. 1 out of every 7 teen runaway girls is sex trafficked. 1 out of every 7 teen girls gets caught up in sex trafficking. The average age, get ready, 12 to 15 years old. So these same people, like I said, that are just fine with you doing all this other stuff, that are just fine with you taking a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old out in sub-zero degree weather to an ice riot and getting pepper sprayed. These people who are fine with that are now fine with your teenage daughters getting prostituted in a back alley, in a back seat, in a cheap hotel. Y'all, we are in trouble in this nation. And it's like I said, Colorado is leading the way, or at least they are trying to. I mean, it used to be California this, California that, blah, blah, blah. It's not California anymore, y'all. They just don't talk about Colorado. It's a shame. It's a disgrace. And we're all going to pay for it in the end unless we stand up and stand against these perverts. Going back to the Epstein files, the drop of all these Epstein files, right after I did that last video, and it was a video, it wasn't a live stream, but right after I did that last video, I was going through some of this stuff, y'all, and it seriously made me physically sick. I was going to do this live stream Tuesday morning. I was going to get the channel back on track, get the consistency going, get everything working the way it was supposed to. Monday night, I was reading into some of this stuff. Some of this stuff is just, it is so sick. It is so demented that it literally made me physically ill. I went to bed Monday night and got up Tuesday morning, and I just did not feel like dealing with it. I had to take a break. I had to walk away. And just to tell you the truth, I haven't slept that great since then. Right now, I'm so loaded up on Wild Buck coffee. The link is in the description of the video. I am so wired up on Wild Buck coffee that I barely know my name. When I get done with this, I am probably going to, well, I got a couple of things to do down here, and then I'm gonna try to get some sleep, y'all, because it ain't been coming that often. It ain't been coming that regular for me. Let's see what is going on over in chat. I see Katrinka's here, and if I miss anybody, I'm sorry. Katrinka's here. Kelly and Rambo, the prepping artist, good morning to you. Mary Miles, how are you? Who else we got in here? I saw some more names a while ago. Handy Prepper, good morning to you. Katrinka, again, good morning to you. Share Bear, I saw you in here earlier. I know you were first. I hope you guys are all doing all right. I hope you guys are fine, because this whole thing has pretty much just made me sick to my stomach. I cannot believe the things that I'm seeing that we're allowing children and encouraging children to do. And Katrinka said, what happened to field trips, going to playgrounds, playing sports, etc.? Exactly. What happened to being a kid? What happened to being excited over getting your first car? What happened to being excited about, I don't know, going to your prom? About doing well in a subject in school and getting awards for it? What happened to all that? Now we have teachers that are telling our kids that you need to go out and protest because ICE is, what they call it, disappearing people and unliving people. I love the jargon that these idiots use these days. And they say, oh, well, if I say something like they got killed or assassinated or they got kidnapped or something on the YouTube, I might get banned. Bull. You're being a child. And that's all there is to it. I hear one person say somebody got disappeared or somebody got unalived. Immediate loss of respect for that person. Immediate. Are the children a distraction? No, Katrinka, they're not a distraction. Terrorists forever have used children to infiltrate and do damage to their enemy. It's called terrorism. They did it in Vietnam. They did it in the Middle East. It was not anything for, you be stationed somewhere and out in the middle of the desert, and every day you have a group of kids that come to your camp and they play basketball or whatever. And one day one of these kids walks up and they're kind of acting a little funny. They're kind of standoffish. Next thing you know, half the camp is dead because this kid had a suicide vest strapped on. That is what is coming. with this, y'all. And it may not be suicide vest. It may not be anything like that. But I can guarantee you that they will start putting these kids on the front lines of their protest as human shields. Yes, indoctrinated they are. They've been indoctrinated in the classroom, and now they're being sent out to do these idiots, to do these radical protesters dirty work for them. Going back to the Epstein file thing and the politicians here in Colorado, y'all need to realize something right now. I'm not just looking at Democrats. I'm not just looking at Democratic Socialists. If I find anybody, and I mean anybody, I don't care if it's Lauren Boebert, I don't care who it is. If I find one person that's taken a donation from a known pedophile, they're going to be up front. They're going to be exposed just like everybody else, because y'all need to realize something. This is not a liberal versus conservative thing. This is not a blue versus red thing. All right? This is a good versus evil thing. And if anybody, if I find anybody that is taking donations from one of these people, that has had anything to do at all with one of these people, I'm going to expose them. If Donald Trump actually did some of the things that they've accused him of doing, it's like I said in the last video, it's like I said, I will be the first person to walk up to the Capitol, to stand in line at the gallows and do the lottery to be the person to pull the lever on that gallows that hangs him in public. The thing about it is so far, all they've got is memes. All they've got is old pictures. All they've got is pictures of Trump with his daughter taking her to a dance or something like that. And it's like, oh God, Trump's a pedophile. Trump's a pedophile. And what they don't realize, and y'all think about this for just a second, what these people don't realize is the more that they put stuff out like that, if it's false, if it's fake, the more they do it, the more they're desensitizing people to the entire thing. All right? It becomes like everything else in this world. How many mass shootings have we had over the past 5 years? And how desensitized are we to it? All right? It comes up in the news, oh, there was a mass shooting, blah, 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 this and that and the other. And to us, it's just another day. That is what they are doing with this whole Epstein file thing. By constantly putting one person or one group of people in the spotlight, they're taking away the seriousness of what is really going on. They are nullifying evil by throwing it in your face every single day. Okay. Whew. I'm sorry, y'all. This drains me. This year's going to be crazy bad. Don't know everything, but y'all better be prepared for what's coming. Every year, we say this year is going to be bad. Every year, we say this year is going to be worse than last year. And guess what? Most of the time, every year is worse than the last year. And Kelly, Rambo, you guys are 100% correct. There's things coming down the pipe that we don't know about. Hey, how many of y'all realize, with all this stuff that's going on right now, how many of y'all realize that we are just about, if it hadn't happened this morning, because I haven't turned on any news or anything this morning, so if it hasn't happened already, the United States is about this close to just bombing the crap out of Iran. I mean, I saw a map last night. There are naval ships surrounding this entire place. And Iran is doing naval exercises with Russia. I don't know if they're saying, well, you better not mess with us because we got Russia on our side. We're doing exercise. I don't know if that's what's going on or not. But there's things going on in the world while everybody's focused on Nancy Guthrie. Everybody's focused on whatever the news people are giving us today. Here's another one. Yankee watchdog. I see a long, hot summer inbound. Well, that will add to the chaos. Yeah, the warmer it gets, the better it gets. And the thing about it is the ICE officers missed a perfect opportunity to just stop all these protests. If it's 10, 15, 20 degrees below zero outside, and you're one of these idiots out there throwing stuff at officers, assaulting officers, in some cases bringing firearms and shooting at officers. If you're one of those people and it's that kind of weather outside, a nice fire hose, not even aimed at you, aimed above you to where it rains down on you, that'll end that protest real fast. But no, the warmer it gets, the nicer the weather becomes, the more people are going to come out. And how many teenagers are we going to have that are going to spend their whole summer vacation being social justice warriors because their teacher at school told them that's what they needed to do? I am scanning the chat. Thank all of you guys for stopping in today. I was not sure how long this video was going to last. I was not sure how long I was going to last to make it through the video. Just checking a few things here. Anyway, I appreciate all of y'all stopping in. I really, really do. I appreciate all the chat. Please drop some comments down below, because your comments, your emojis, you sharing the videos, that's what gets the news out to people who may not know this. So, Yankee, you're not the only one. I get here on a regular basis and say mostly the same things over and over and over again, hoping that a few people will listen. Look, y'all, I'm tired. I've got more bags under my eyes than I usually do. So I'm going to cut this one off here in just a couple minutes. I'm going to take a nice, long, hot shower, and I'm going to try to get some sleep. I'm going to try to shut my mind down, get a little rest, get a little sleep, and try again next week to get us back on Tuesdays, unless something comes out before then that needs to be talked about. But, hey, like I said, please, y'all, check your little bell notification. Make sure that you are getting notifications when the videos come out, when we do live streams. I would appreciate it. Okay? It means a lot to me to know that other people are actually getting the truth thrown in their faces, especially here in the state of Colorado. So until the next time, yes, everybody in chat, Beaverines, everybody. Until the next time, y'all take care of yourselves and each other. May God bless every single one of you. God bless you. Take care. And we'll see you next time.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight! And these shields, boys!